Hello, everybody! This will be 2 coming at you with my episode review of episode 3 of Brynhildr in the Darkness. Now, this was an interesting episode because we learned a lot of different things about the witches and all sorts of stuff. We learned some really interesting stuff in this episode, which I liked. First off, we find out that every 30 hours they need to take these pills to prevent death. Yes, if they don't take it within so much time, their skin starts to crack and bleed, and within even more time, 35 hours, their organs start to break down. So we find that out. We also find out more information about the thing that they had in the back of their neck. There are 3 switches. We find out the first switch, if unlatched, will basically disable the fact that they can do magic. We find out the second one, it pops out and they just melt away and they die. We don't know about the third. All they were ever told about the third one is if you use it, it creates a fate worse than death. Something worse than death happens. So I'm like, what the fuck could be worse than death? So that's really interesting. But this episode mostly revolved around the fact that they had a fire, all their pills burned up, and they need to get more pills before they die, to prevent them from dying, so they don't die. Now, this was really interesting. So we have both Kana and Neko. They're basically, if they don't get these pills in time, they're going to die. So that was big enough in this episode alone. But we still have Ryota, who is basically he doesn't care. He found out where the pharmacy was to get the pills. Turns out he has a identical memory. He sees something once, even for a glance. He remembers it forever. But he says the downside to that is that means that things he didn't wish he remembered, he's still going to remember. So we find out about Ryota, which was really interesting in this episode, which I thought was really cool and really interesting. And he knows the fact that if he gets involved with these girls and they find out about him, he's going to die. So we find out about a new girl, a new witch, Kazumi, and she is a master hacker. She can hack into anything and do whatever, and that's how they got into the school. Neko got enrolled in the school because she hacked in and changed the files to get her in. Now, the downside is she takes payment, and the payment she takes are the pills. So, in the process of saying, we'll give you pills, she's all like, pay me up front, and they're like, we don't have the pills. And her basically claiming the amount she wants is half of whatever they get. So that's basically half their life she's taking. We find out, which is really interesting. So she's kind of greedy, but at the same time, this is interesting. So lots of stuff goes down in this episode. We here there's a prophecy from Kana who says that telling Neko if she goes, she will get killed. And so it's basically telling Neko, either you go and you get killed, or you stay and don't get the pills and you die. So it's basically, either way, you're fucked. So we have that. And in the process of getting there, Neko's writing this letter for Ryota, and they're on the train, basically going to the pharmacy to get the pills. And we know there's another witch, basically even stronger. She's a double A rank. So the ranking is highest triple A, lowest C. So she's really strong, and they're going to use her to kill these people. And in the process of this huge battle, Ryota basically goes, screw this, I'm going to try to protect Neko. And he noticed, after something happens and her clothes gets ripped off in the front, the 3 moles that were in the girl's, he knew's, underarm has migrated here. And we found out one thing is that something happens and she loses something. So what it turns out she loses in the process, I believe, using her magic, is memories. So it has pretty much been confirmed that yes, Neko is Ryoto's childhood friend from his memories that we thought was dead. But I kind of thought that ahead of time, so I'm not really surprised by this. But it's interesting that as her chest grew, the moles under her arm kind of migrated out, and that's why he didn't see them originally. So we have all this interesting stuff coming out in this episode, which I thought was really cool and really interesting. And I'm looking forward to this next episode, number 4, to see how they survive this battle and get the pills and live on. Because, I mean, if they died here, that'd be kind of killing the entire episode by episode 4. So I don't really see that happening. Thus, this is Yo82 saying, if you like this video, please click like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. This is Yo82 signing out.